Hey there, upgraders. Rokinia here with a question that's going to challenge everything you think you know about fitness tracking. Ready? Here it is. What if I told you that right now, as you're listening to this, your body is processing over 100 million bits of sensory information per second, and most fitness apps are asking you to ignore 99.9% of it? Think about it. Your smartphone can tell you how many steps you took, maybe your heart rate, possibly some sleep data. But your body? Your body is running the most sophisticated movement analysis system ever created. It's detecting muscle tension, joint position, balance shifts, energy levels, hydration status, and hundreds of other variables, all in real time. Today, we're diving into something I call movement intelligence. And by the end of this episode, you'll understand why the most advanced piece of fitness technology you own isn't on your wrist. It's between your ears. So here's what happened last week. I was analyzing movement data from thousands of users, and I noticed something fascinating. The people who made the most progress weren't necessarily following their apps religiously. They were the ones who had learned to read their own bodies. Let me paint you a picture. Sarah, a listener who wrote in, told me she used to live and die by her fitness tracker. Green ring closed? Good day? Red notifications? Guilt spiral? Sound familiar? But then something shifted. She started paying attention to how her body actually felt during workouts. Was her form getting sloppy? Was she compensating for a tight hip? Was she pushing through genuine fatigue or just mental resistance? The result, she made more progress in 3 months of body listening than she had in 2 years of metric chasing. This isn't feel-good wellness talk, this is hard science. Your nervous system has been perfecting movement patterns for millions of years. Every time you reach for your coffee mug, your brain is calculating trajectory, force, grip strength, and about 50 other variables you're completely unconscious of. But here's where it gets interesting. We've become so disconnected from this internal intelligence that we outsource our movement decisions to algorithms that know nothing about how your left shoulder feels today, or whether you slept poorly, or if you're fighting off a cold. Let's talk about what we're really missing when we ignore our body's feedback systems. First, there's proprioception, your body's GPS system. Right now, without looking, you know exactly where your hands are. You know if you're sitting up straight or slouched. That's proprioception, and it's constantly feeding you information about joint position and muscle tension. But here's what most people don't realize. Proprioception is trainable. The more you pay attention to it, the better it gets. And better proprioception equals better movement quality, fewer injuries, and more efficient workouts. Now I need to address the elephant in the room. You might be thinking, Rokinia, this sounds like that touchy-feely, listen to your body advice that never actually helps. And you'd be right to be skeptical. Most body awareness advice is vague and unhelpful, but what I'm talking about is different. This is about developing specific, measurable skills. Think of it like upgrading your body's operating system. Let me give you a concrete example. When you do a squat, your fitness app might count reps and maybe estimate calories burned, but your body is monitoring dozens of data points. Is your weight shifting to your toes? Are your knees tracking properly? Is one hip tighter than the other? Is your core engaged, or are you compensating with your lower back? Learning to read these signals isn't mystical, it's mechanical. And it's the difference between effective training and just going through the motions. Here's a fascinating study from the Journal of Sports Science. Athletes who received proprioceptive training alongside their regular workouts improved their performance 23% more than those who just followed their standard programs. 23%. That's not marginal gains. That's a quantum leap. So how do we develop this movement intelligence? It starts with something I call the movement audit. Right now, wherever you are, I want you to do something. Stand up. Yes, actually stand up. Notice how you did it. Did you lean forward first? Push with your hands? Rock side to side? Most people have never consciously observed their own standing pattern. This is your baseline. Most fitness programs skip this entirely and jump straight to complex exercises. It's like trying to debug software without understanding the underlying code. Here's what we're going to do. I want you to sit back down, but this time, pay attention to every aspect of the movement. How do you initiate it? Where do you feel effort? What muscles are working? Now stand up again, but try to make it smoother, more controlled. See the difference? You just improved your movement quality through awareness alone. This is movement intelligence in action. You're not following a predetermined program. You're adapting in real time based on sensory feedback. But let's take this deeper. There's a crucial difference between exercise and movement that most people miss entirely. Exercise is what you do for 30 minutes at the gym. Movement is what you do for the other 23 and a half hours of your day. And guess which one has a bigger impact on your health and fitness? Your body doesn't compartmentalize. It doesn't think, okay, now we're exercising, so I'll engage my core. It experiences movement as one continuous spectrum. How you sit affects how you walk. How you walk affects how you squat. How you squat affects how you feel when you wake up tomorrow. This is why focusing solely on gym time is like trying to improve your diet by only thinking about dessert. You're missing the bigger picture. Here's what this means practically. The quality of your movement matters more than the quantity. I'd rather see you do 5 perfect squats with full body awareness than 50 sloppy ones while checking your phone. And this brings us to something really important. Your body's feedback systems are incredibly sophisticated, but only if you're actually listening. Your body is constantly sending you signals: tightness, fatigue, imbalance, compensation patterns. These aren't just random sensations, they're data. High quality, real time data about what's working and what isn't. But most of us have been trained to ignore these signals or push through them. We've been conditioned to think that if it's not tracked by an app, it doesn't matter. I want to flip that script. What if discomfort isn't something to push through, but information to investigate? What if that tight hip isn't a weakness to ignore, but a movement restriction that's affecting your entire kinetic chain? Let me give you a simple assessment you can do right now to test your movement intelligence. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, close your eyes, and slowly shift your weight to your right foot, then your left. What do you notice? Is one side easier to balance on? Do you feel more stable in certain positions? Open your eyes. Now stand on one leg for 10 seconds, then switch. Again, what differences do you notice? Don't judge it as good or bad, just observe. This simple test is giving you information about balance, proprioception, and potential imbalances that no fitness tracker can measure. Here's the key insight. Your body is always teaching you, but only if you're paying attention. Every workout, every movement, every day is an opportunity to gather intelligence about how your system is functioning. And when you start training with this awareness, everything changes. You stop doing exercises and start solving movement problems. You stop chasing metrics and start chasing quality. You stop fighting your body and start collaborating with it. This doesn't mean abandoning all structure or data. I'm not suggesting you throw your fitness tracker in a drawer and hope for the best. What I'm suggesting is that you upgrade your approach by adding the most sophisticated monitoring system available: your own nervous system. Think of it this way: your fitness app is like a basic weather report. It tells you if it's hot or cold outside. But your body's feedback systems, they're like having your own personal meteorologist, constantly updating you on changing conditions and helping you adapt accordingly. The most successful athletes and fitness enthusiasts aren't the ones with the most data. They're the ones who can best interpret their body's signals and respond appropriately. So here's your homework for this week, and it's simpler than you might think. Pick one movement you do regularly. It could be walking, climbing stairs, or even just standing up from a chair. For the next week, do it consciously. Pay attention to how it feels, what muscles are working, what feels smooth versus what feels sticky. Don't try to fix anything yet, just observe. You're developing your movement intelligence, and like any intelligence, it improves with practice. Remember, your body has been your most loyal partner since day one. It's time to start listening to what it's been trying to tell you. Next week, we're diving into something equally important: the hidden psychology of consistency. Why willpower fails and what actually works for creating lasting change. Until then, this is Rokinia reminding you that your upgrade isn't just in progress, it's already built in. You just needed to know where to look. Keep moving intelligently, upgraders.